Hi everyone, welcome back to Real English Podcast with me, Queenie, as the host today, and our very lovely guest. Could you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Ken. Just call me Ken.
So this
Very
is
short name.
So this is Miss Ken, guys, or just Ken actually, yeah. So I'm with Ken here today, and we will be talking about, I guess, a lot of things that people have been very interested in hearing about, and that would be about the TOEFL IBT. When we hear TOEFL, a lot of people usually think, the paper-based thing, right? The one where you have to just sit down and do grammar, they say. But there are a lot of forms of the TOEFL test, and we'll be talking about one of the most famous ones today, which is the IBT one.
Yes.
So, Miss Ken, what made you interested in the IBT the first time?
Because I was graduated from American Studies. Like my graduate degree is American Studies, and the material of TOEFL IBT is most of the time about American culture. That's why I like and I enjoy teaching TOEFL IBT. Because it didn't really have any difference with my material that I studied in my graduate school, yeah.
In graduate degree is S2 ya guys, by the way, for those wondering. Dulu waktu Miss Ken ngambil American Studies itu di S2 ya, Miss bisa bilang itu sama apakah karena teksnya TOEFL itu readingnya ya mungkin ya, karena dia kan by nature sangat, let's say, cukup dalam ya dan cukup spesifik nggak sih dia, bener. Jadi nggak general itu.
Nggak se-general, let's say IELTS.
Yeah.
You teach IELTS, right?
Yeah, I do. No, but guys, I did at one point teach IBT as well, and I do have to say that kudos to you, because IBT is hard. It's actually very hard.
Oh, why do you think so?
I think it's difficult, no? Because as you said, like the reading passages are just longer. It's more difficult because it's more specific. And not only that, the speaking part is also a beep, so like I just want to curse, but I cannot. So.
Okay, because you have to race with the time restrictions, right?
That's one. But I think the hardest part about it all is the fact that you had to kind of combine the
reading passage and the listening passage.
And the listening, and then you have to talk about it. And I think like you don't encounter things like that in the IELTS test.
Of course.
Which perhaps we'll be discussing more in depth in another episode. But just for spoilers. And yeah, as you said, you have very limited time to talk about it. So like you cannot go more or less. So it has to be preferably right on time, right? Let's say exactly 45 seconds or something. And you have like what is it called? The preparation time is also quite short.
It's actually not a preparation time, I guess.
I would say it's breathing time.
Yeah.
It's like,
because it's not possible if you prepare only for 15 seconds.
Exactly. That's like you breathing,
looking
at the question and breathing again. And that's like that's what you use the 15 seconds for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Miss Ken though, what would you say is the major distinction between the IBT and the lesser form of TOEFL? Not lesser, I guess, easier form of TOEFL, which is the ITP.
The paper-based, right?
Yeah, the PBT or ITP.
What makes it different? Of course, it's harder. Like the material is more complex, of course.
For the IBT.
IBT. But for most people, they prefer TOEFL IBT because they don't like grammar. Because in TOEFL paper-based test, you need to do 40 questions of grammar questions, right?
Saklek gitu ya.
Yes.
And then?
And the TOEFL IBT, yes, there is of course a grammar, but the grammar is applied in the form of writing and your speaking.
I agree. And that is actually why the IBT is harder. And that's why people usually start from the TOEFL Junior, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the ITP, and then before they escalate to the IBT part of the test, because in the ITP part, I guess you still can I would say it's easier when you just, saklek kayak he, she, it plus verb s, you know what I mean? Compared to when you have to just synthesize all of your knowledge into like one single writing product.
Piece.
Writing piece. I think it's harder that way. And another advantage tuh bener nggak sih Miss kan katanya kalau IBT tuh lebih bisa membantu untuk ke luar negeri ya. Jadi buat sekolah, buat kerja. Benar.
Dibandingkan sama TOEFL ITP. Yes. Karena kalau TOEFL ITP dipakai untuk di national aja, tapi IBT dipakai di seluruh dunia.
Nah, dan IBT itu kan duluan kan dia sebelum IELTS nggak sih Miss kan, bener nggak?
Aku nggak tahu kalau itu. Kayaknya sih iya deh.
Karena aku dengernya dia lebih populer ya. TOEFL itu kan setahu aku institusinya ada duluan kan sebelum si IELTS. Nah, jadi emang a lot of universities all around the world itu menerima kan sertifikat IBT. Dulu Miss kan American Studies itu sama kampusnya Miss kan itu di mana dan diminta syarat itu nggak?
Enggak.
Jadi
kampusku di UGM dan waktu itu aku cuma applicationsnya cuma ASEP, Local University Test.
ASEP tuh pun juga sebenarnya TOEFL ITP kan Miss kan. Nah, jadi itu
modifications of TOEFL ITP.
Iya, dan itu kayak TOEFL ITP menurut aku dipelesetin dikit banget ya. Jadi itu banyak sih ya actually advantages of you learning the TOEFL test, either the ITP ataupun yang IBT. Apalagi buat yang mau keluar negeri, mau cari kerja di luar, mau S2, S3 ataupun S1 di luar juga sangat dibutuhkan biasanya TOEFL IBT. Terus Miss, what would you say? What would you recommend to our listeners today in regards to taking the TOEFL IBT test? Maybe some prior considerations they should have, or the preparations, some tips, anything you'd like to say?
Okay, so if you decide to study abroad, you have two choices, right? Either you can take IELTS or TOEFL IBT. Nah, you need to check on your university list. So whether it requires you to take TOEFL IBT or IELTS. Okay, so if you decide to take TOEFL IBT. So what you need to do first is if you start from the start and you don't really have knowledge, so you can start from TOEFL ITP first, and then you try to learn like the speaking part and the writing part in the TOEFL ITP as well. And after that, after you feel confident in your speaking and writing, so you can go or accelerate to TOEFL IBT.
So intinya tuh mulainya dari jangan langsung berenang gitu ya. Maksudnya jangan langsung berenang ke tengah-tengah laut. Ibaratnya just start from a swimming pool first. Look at the ITP, and if you find that to your liking, and if you're even a younger audience, mungkin balik dari junior kali ya mulainya dari TOEFL junior. Dari TOEFL junior, and then you can start with the ITP, and I guess go with your confidence aja kali ya. Nah, dan lihat requirements-nya maksudnya Miss kan. Jadi misalkan university-nya bilang butuhnya IBT skor sekian. Nah, itu kan menentukan ya. Skor IBT itu 120 ya?
120 paling
sampai 120.
0 sampai 120, paling tinggi 120.
Nah, jadi itu nggak sama dengan ITP yang dia 677. Ya, kalau nggak salah. Ya, 677 gitu. Nah, itu jadi ada beda lagi kan cara scoringnya dia. So please have a look at that, and if both universities accept IELTS and IBT, be familiar with the test
questions. The questions type. Which one do you feel
more comfortable? Sebenarnya prosnya TOEFL itu kan tes dia tuh type of questionnya cuma satu kan, multiple choice tok kan ya. Maksudnya nggak ada macam-macam gitu, doang gitu. Beda sama IELTS yang dia adalah heading, adalah isian, ada
yang nyambungin sentence yang dipecah.
Nah, itu matching gitu kan. Ada lagi kok, ada satu lagi yang aku inget tuh agak bombastis. True false not
given. Oh my god,
belakangan ini hidup gue lagi di fase not given, tau nggak? Yang kayak kalau gue terjadi sesuatu gitu, Terus gue nanya sama Tuhan gitu kan, Tuhan kenapa hidup gue begini? Jawaban dia
Not given.
Nah itu nanti kalau pengen tahu ya, kalau pengen tahu not given itu apa, belajar di IONS ya. Nanti belajar IELTS dulu sama Miss Ken sama gue. Nanti habis itu baru
rasakanlah true false not given.
Rasakanlah true false not given. Asli, gue rasa hidup ini bisa dijawab dengan true false not given loh beneran. Coba Miss Ken, apakah Anda seorang guru bahasa Inggris?
Yes.
Nah, true kan dia? Terus apakah Anda sedang senang?
True.
Oh, true. Apakah Anda sedang sedih?
No.
Apakah dalam 2 tahun ke depan gaji kita 2 digit?
Yes.
Alhamdulillah. Tadinya kalau
even 3 digits.
Amin. Kalau tadi itu dijawabnya not given, nangis gue guys.
Nah, kita harus optimis, oke?
Kita harus optimis, benar. Nah, jadi ini by the way, itulah ada beberapa hal yang membedakan ya si IBT itu dan si IELTS. Terus terakhir, closing note deh Miss Ken. What would you say to motivate our listeners today to be more lebih aware sama English literacy and the usage of languages in a day-to-day and professional setting. Sama yang kedua, why do you think they should learn English here? I guess that's the best way.
Okay, why they have to learn English in the first place? Because, well, that's international language, simply, right? So, when you want to explore knowledge, so you have to study English because if you want to study, you have to, for example, listen to podcasts, for example, or reading a books. And books usually the best books usually written in English. I'm not saying that Indonesian books is not good. But you have like very
extensive choices in English as well.
Why they should study here? Because they are going to meet us.
karena kita keren, karena kita cantik. Jadi kalau mau ketemu guru-guru yang keren, cantik dan pintar, silakan masuk IONS. Ini kita di Keplak Padi Mas ini. Marketing macam apa katanya? Bercanda guys. Nah, but anyways, there are actually real advantages why you should study here. Karena materi kita juga selalu up to date kan.
Materi up to date.
Dan dia enggak, let's say dari publisher buku yang kita pakai kan publishernya juga Pearson ya, Cambridge, bukan kayak sembarang buku kita cetak gitu loh. Jadi apa yang kalian keluarkan di sini gitu, uang yang kalian keluarkan itu worth the quality of your money gitu loh. Misalkan kamu keluarnya let's say 100.000 ya kamu akan dapat 100.000 itu juga atau bahkan lebih. And we have a very interactive teaching style ya sebetulnya di sini. Jadi gak usah khawatir kamu belajar tuh kayak belajar sama papan tulis. Karena satu, kita juga gak pakai papan tulis literal ya, kita pakainya smartboard. Kita fancy gitu, fasilitasnya bagus, ruangnya nyaman, jadi kamu belajar juga gak uring-uringan gitu. Ada library, computer lab, and etc. yang itu.
Oh yeah, for TOEFL IPT guys, if you are studying here, you have a plus because you are going to use computer lab, like you have like some simulations. So if you are doing the real test, so you don't feel like, oh, this is very weird. Because you have the exposure.
Karena udah biasa maksudnya Miss Ken. Karena kamu tuh di sini simulasinya tuh bukan hanya segi soalnya, tapi juga disimulate keadaannya ya, situation surrounding the test itu juga disimulate, dan software kita di sini juga ya maksudnya masih sangat-sangat real dan up to date ya. Jadi nggak ada tuh definisi bajak-bajakan, tebak-tebakan soal. Nah, jadi bisa you can rest assured that what you receive here would actually be to your best interest. Pinjem buku di library tinggal ngesot ya, capek dikit labcom itu adalah ini kalian, maksudnya hak kalian gitu. You have cafe downstairs, so like you don't have to really go anywhere. You can just like do a one-stop thing, you know, stop at IONS and like shop everywhere else while studying. Terus yang terakhir sebenarnya yang tadi aku mau bilang tuh apa ya? I think that's about it sih ya. Kayak udah cukup. Anything you'd like to add? Closing statement?
Closing statement, semangat aja.
Semangat dan sukses.
Semangat dan sukses.
Iya, di fase-fase hidup yang lagi not given, semangat dan sukses. Terima kasih guys. Bye.
Bye.